16 track meet. We've got Airport, River Bluff, Dutch Fork, and your Chapin Eagles.
Okay, thank you.
We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting started, but we're now up and running, and we're getting ready to have the boys 100 high hurdles. As I get the results in.
Right taking place is one of the field books. I will fill you in.
This is Richard Oots. We'll also be getting some input from some of the other sports that are out there. We've got girls lacrosse taking place tonight. We've got boys lacrosse. We've got soccer and baseball. And once we get some updates there, we'll let everybody know.
Big brain, big brain.
If you're in Chapin, I'll tell you this is a beautiful day. We're in the low 70s with a little bit of a breeze. It's comfortable. Come out, bring your chairs, sit back and relax. Track gives you that opportunity to see a bunch of different events, from your running events to pole vault, high jump, long jump, triple jump, shot put, and discus. Looks like they've almost got the
For the men's, there'll be 2 heats.
Source. Where do you see that? Oh, go into Wirecast and say that?
First heat.
the men's in lane 1. We had Airport finish first with a time of 50.77. River Bluff second with 51.21. Dutch Fork in third with 52.10. And Chapin finished in fourth with 52.87. That's a girls 4x100 meter relay. And for our boys 4x100 meter relay, in first, Dutch Fork with a 43.52, Airport with 44.49, Chapin in third with 45.27, and Dutch Fork in fourth with a 45.88. And our girls 4x800 meter relay, in first place was River Bluff with 10 minutes, 26 seconds, and 66 100ths. Dutch Fork in second at 10:36.56, and Chapin in third with 11:01.63. Dutch Fork in fourth with 11:04.93.
I think we have 80 guys in the mile.
And our girls 100 we'll be having those results shortly. And back to our results. Girls 100 meter hurdles. In first place, from Airport. Naza Reading, 16.86. From Dutch Fork, Olivia Hardy, 17.09. River Bluff, Sonda Mastery, 17.18. And Chapin, Evelyn Patrick with 18.93. And also from Chapin in 5th place, Katie Buxar with 19.17. And our boys 4x800 meter relay. First place Dutch Fork with 844.29. Chapin in second with 9:02.85. River Bluff 9:21.19. And then our Chapin B came in fourth at 9:21.81. Shortly, I'll be having the scores. They're tabulating as they go. We have the results from the boys' 110 meter hurdles. In first place from River Bluff, Kyle Simpson, 15.68. Chapin, Will Laura, 16.58. River Bluff, Trayvon King, 16.69. River Bluff, Armando Mastery, 16.76. And from River Bluff, Roberto Aguilar at 16.88. On the girls' 100 meter dash, we have 7 heats. Maybe you could hear that in the background, the double shot. That means that somebody went off early. Now in track, when there's a false start, they will fire the gun off twice. And now you only get one false start for the field. So if there's a false start, regardless if you created or had the first one or not, whoever false starts after the first one, you will be disqualified. Well, track is definitely one of those sports that you can have a lot of participants in it. Like I said, we've got 7 heats, 8 contestants in each one of the heats. So it gives an opportunity to have a lot of runners, especially a lot of those younger runners. It gives them experience. We've got another heat of the girls. I had controls today. We got Asa McMeekin. And out for the first time, coming from the football background, we have Reese Myers. Could not do this without them. Couldn't do it without the listeners and the viewers. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, we have sponsors that sponsor all our athletics. We've got Bow 4. We've got Sonic. We got Harold and Peace Attorneys, Bojangles, Galloway Homes, Miss Cocky, Quality Life Solutions, Pelicans, State Farm, Galliana Automotive, and Lake Murray Tire, Richardson Heating and Air, and Riverland Hills. If you have the opportunity, please go by and patronize them. All of them have been great partners for Chapin Athletics. We couldn't do what we do without their support. Well, the girls are finished. Now we'll be getting started with the boys. 100-meter dash. Sometimes while there's a delay, it's allowing the boys to actually get their block set to what they prefer. They get a couple little test starts. Each runner has a tendency to want their block set up to their own standards. Maybe they like the left foot back or the right foot back, whatever's most comfortable for them. Looks like we have 7 heats for the boys 100 meter. The first heat, lane 1, we got Dutch Fork, Devin Hyatt. Lane 2, River Bluff, Eura West. Lane 3, Chapin, Connor Lehman. Dutch Fork, Jalen Hyatt. And it looks like Jalen Hyatt just finished in first. In lane 5, we had Chapin's Jawan Wilson. Lane 6, Airport, Emmanuel Dovin. Lane 7, Airport, Bruce Staley. And from Dutch Fork in lane 8, Antonio Williams. We'll have the results as quickly as we can. In heat 2, lane 1, Dutch Fork, Kelvin Wright. Lane 2, from Chapin, Micah Davis. Lane 3, Chapin, Josh Wells. Lane 4, Dutch Fork, Savon Holmes. Lane 5, Airport, Dwayne Lewis. Lane 6, Dutch Fork, Dixon Oliver. Lane 7, River Bluff, Parker Lloyd. In lane 8, your Chapin, Will Hagler. As I said before, when there's multiple heats, you can still score from any of the heats. Doesn't matter if you're in the first heat or the last heat. It all comes down to the times. And the individuals, there are giving out 5 places, 6 for first place, 4 for second place, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, and 1 for fifth. In the second heat, they're off. And it's going to be a tight one. And unofficial. Airports, Emmanuel Donovan. Correction. That was Dwayne Lewis. Heat 3, lane 1 from Chapin, Noah Rankin. From lane 2, Airport, Nonders Lawrence. Lane 3, River Bluff, Bradley Legans. Lane 4, River Bluff, Craig Williams. Lane 5 from Chapin, Cooper Evans. Lane 6, Dutch Fork, Elijah Chapman. Lane 7 from Chapin, Cooper Edenfield. Lane 8 from Dutch Fork, Maurice McQuire. And they're off. Oh, that's almost too tight to call. And everything is unofficial. But it looks like to me that might have been Cooper Evans from Chapin taking first. Heat 4. Looks like we have a lot of Chapin runners. In lane 1, Matthew Williams. Lane 2, Casey Downs. Lane 3, Trey Lyles. Lane 4, Connor Calder. Lane 5, Adam Beatonball. Lane 6, Max Stewart. Lane 7, Christian Bowman. And lane 8, Robert Badcock. With their times entered here, it looks like it's going to be a very, very tight race. And they're off. It looks like we might have had a false start. I didn't hear the double gun, but it looks like everybody held up, so they're going to get started momentarily, and they're off again. And as I said, it was going to be very, very close and tight, all Chapin. Very too close to call. Coming up next, we have our girls 1600 run, the mile. And that'll be 4 laps around. And heat 5 of the boys 100-meter dash. Mostly Chapin in one airport. Lane 1, Caden Baker. Lane 2, Damian Williams. Lane 3, Jackson McCutcheon. Lane 4, Aaron Hewitt. Lane 5, Hunter Meyer. Lane 6, Gunther Badcock. Lane 7, Jacka Hayden Kennard from Airport. And lane 8, Charles Creel from Chapin. Once again, with their times entered, it should be a very tight race. Looks like we're starting to get some field events information. And the boys triple jump. In first place was Chapin, Michael McNeil, with a jump of 41 feet and 2 inches. In lane 2 from, in second place from River Bluff, Armando Mastery with a 40.1 inch jump, also from River Bluff. Trayvon King with 39.50. From Dutch Fork, Elijah Spencer, 38 feet 9 inches. From Dutch Fork, Dorian Jacobs with a jump of 38 and 4 inches. That was heat 6 of 7 of the boys. Results from the girls 100-meter dash. In first place from River Bluff, Jada Johnson with a 12.74 seconds. From Chapin, Amara Belk with a 12.99 seconds. From Chapin, Mary Grace Rich, 13.19. From Chapin, Janella Williams, 13.21. From Dutch Fork, Alanja Robinson, 13.23. As I said, our next event will be the girls 1600, which is 4 laps around for 1 mile. As you see, there is a plethora of girls running the 1600. I'll go through the first few of the runners with their times that were entered for the 1600. Top seed from River Bluff, Madeline Gomez. From Dutch Fork, second seed, Brianna Hartley. Third, from Dutch Fork, Alexa Vanderdill. From River Bluff, Candace Hope Alexander. Fifth, from River Bluff, Hannah Gabi Hart. From Dutch Fork, Alyssa Morella. From River Bluff, Kristen Hallman. From River Bluff, Jordan Mela Carroll. From Chapin, Evelyn Patrick. And 10th, River Bluffs, Caitlin Jamel. And 11th, Chapin Brianna Lawrence. And 12th, your Chapin Devin Jones. And in 13th, Chapin Olivia Starnes. For the first time in over 30 years, Chapin has a new head track coach. McGran decided that it was time to pass off the reins. He is still the cross-country coach, but Sidney Rhodes is our new head track coach for Chapin. He's from Wren High School. He's been involved in the club track scene in the Columbia area for a number of years, and it was a good opportunity to bring him on as the head coach. He coached the middle school team in the past.
Final call, boys long jump. Second call, girls triple.
As they're running the miles, also another opportunity to thank some of our sponsors: O'Leary Orthodontics, Premier Roofing, Sam's Club, Lake Murray Floor, Zestos, Keller Williams, Metals and Alloys, Farm Boys, America's Bank, Midlands, Charles Schwab, Lake Murray Driving Academy, and Allstate. Once again, we couldn't do it without our sponsors. For the ones that don't know, they're our Chapin Eagle Club. We provide 100% of the uniforms for all of our sports teams here at Chapin. Doesn't matter if it's your football, track, we support them all. We couldn't do it without our sponsors, without everybody helping out. As you see all these boys walking in front of the camera, they are not accustomed to having it broadcasted, especially the River Bluff Gators as they're just like our girls. There will be a large number of boys participating in the 1600. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to keep up with who's in the lead, and because there are times that some of the faster runners will lap some of the less experienced runners. And it looks like the winner, unofficial, was River Bluff, followed by Dutch Fork. And in third place, once again, it was two Dutch Forks, neck and neck. It's hard for me to say who won. We'll have the official results shortly. I'd like to thank everybody that's tuning in today. We'll be broadcasting baseball next week. If you have any questions, feel free to log in. Also, if you'd like to text in questions, phone number is 803-920-8619. It looks like they're going to be running the boys in two heats just because of the sheer number. It's hard to put that many on the line, and especially for the start, so they split them up. And typically how they split them up is, if they can, is by the times, but it looks like they might have this time split up a little bit by the various schools. I see River Bluff and several Lexington. And, actually it might be a little bit of the times. It's got a little bit of a mixture. Some of the top seeds for the 1600. The number 1 seed from Chapin, Jaden Kingsley. From River Bluff, Jonathan Tan. From River Bluff, Jacob McGonwan. From River Bluff, Chris Cornick. From Dutch Fork, Nicholas Kaiser. And 6th, River Bluff's Michaela Reeves. 7th, from River Bluff, Calvin Drag. And from Chapin, seated 8th, Holden Tuchich. Seated 9th, Chapin's James Barfrey. And 10th, from Dutch Fork, John Stevenson. As they're getting ready to get started, I'll let you know that our boys golf, they're leading the region. They've got a few more matches left before they qualify for state. Looks like they're in good position to qualify for state. Our boys tennis, they're 9-2, playing Lexington next week. And the winner of that match should be crowned region champs. Our girls lacrosse, ranked number 1 in the state, 13-0, coached by Jen Green. That's a very, very strong performance by our girls lacrosse, especially moving up from 4A to 5A. And for us to be seated number 1, 13-0. We've got our results from the boys 100 meter dash. In first place, Dutch Fork, Jalen Height, 10.75. Our Chapin, Olajuwon Wilson, at 11.20. Airport's Bruce Staley, 11.42. Airport's Dwayne Lewis in fourth place with 11.49. Chapin's Josh Wells, fifth place with 11.52. Just beating out Chapin's Micah Davis with 11.56, beat him by 4/100ths of a second. We also have the results from the girls' long jump. Your Chapin, first place, Bella Martin, with a jump of 15 feet 7 inches. And also from Chapin, second place, Violet Maloa, with a 14-foot 4-inch jump. In third place, Chapin, Katie Bugsar, with a 14-foot even jump. River Bluff in fourth place, Kaylee Burgess, with a 13-foot 7 inches, 7.5 inches. And in fifth place, Airport, Nahija Henderson, with a 13.5 foot jump. Looks like our Chapin Eagles are doing very well in the field events. as they're running, just want to also let you know that the Eagle Club is sponsoring a pig picking this coming Saturday. And this at the Old Barn Farm off of Old Lexington. That's 843 Old Lexington Highway. Starts at 6:30. It is a BYOB. Bring your own beverage and bring your own chair. Tickets are $20 a piece. See your Eagle Club members to get your ticket. It's all you can eat, barbecue and all the fixings. There'll be several different types of barbecue sauces for you to try. We'll have music, have some entertainment. Some of our very own Eagle Club members, I've heard, are going to be doing a little singing. Tim Slice, Mr. Chapin, the mayor of Chapin, and Chris Watson will both be doing a little bit of singing. So please come out and join us. It starts at 6:30 and it ends a little bit later in the evening. After the 1600, we'll have the 400. 400 being one of the tougher races in all of track. That and the 400 hurdles and the 800. Those are the three toughest events, I believe, in track. The 400s are all-out sprints, and then you throw the hurdles in there. That's tough. And then the 800, you'd like to do an all-out sprint, but it's hard to maintain that for 2 laps around the track. Well, that's our first heat of the boys for the mile. It's hard to tell who the actual winners are. They don't have their names on there. They're just representing their schools. Once the lacrosse game gets started, hope to get some feedback of the score that's going there, as well as the baseball. Chapin's playing at Lexington. We've got our boys soccer playing at White Knoll. Hope to get updates from them as well. There we go. Now we're starting with Heat 2 for the boys. if you've ever been to a track meet, some people call it organized chaos. It's very similar to a swim meet. Everybody, all the contestants are, the competitors, I should say, are walking around. They know when they need to be up there, and there's a lot of participants, and but it all seems to come together when it's time. So it's, but it gives an opportunity for so many of the athletes of the various schools to participate. Unlike in a lot of the team sports, you only got 9 or 11 or even 5 on the court or on the field at a time. Track gives you that opportunity to find where a good fit is for you if it's a field event. Just to let you know, if you're not familiar with track, we have the pole vault, we have high jump, long jump, triple jump, as well as a shot put and discus. Everybody thinks a shot put and discus are always from the big individuals, the big guys, but if I'm not mistaken, the individual that still holds Chapin's shot put and discus record, or he did for many years, was Randolph Bowers. Played quarterback for Chapin in the 80s, and he was not known as a real big guy, so it's a lot of technique. With a second heat of boys, 1600 is all off and running. They seem to have a little bit quicker pace than the first one, so they might have broken it up that way, but we'll wait and see. Yes, they definitely have a faster pace, it looks like. And looking at some of the runners that I am aware of, I think this is the faster heat of the two. But as I had spoken before, you can score from either heat. It all comes down to the watch.
Final call, boys high jump. Final call, boys high jump.
Our boys lacrosse is playing Lexington. I think varsity starts in about 7 minutes. You know, our track team is 4-0, and they won the Dutch Fork Invitational, the boys and girls. And in track, just like swimming, girls will always go first and then the boys. If you just heard the bell, that's the last lap bell. And in the lead is your own Chapin Eagle, Jaden Kinsley. And coming up for the girls 40-meter dash, we'll have 3 heats. I think I can go out on a limb and say that Jaden Kingsley just took first. I think that's Chris Cornick from River Bluff. And Nicholas Kaiser from Dutch Fork. I'm not sure about the other individuals, but the top 3 finishers there for the boys: Jaden Kingsley, Chapin, Chris Cornick from River Bluff, and Nicholas Kaiser from Dutch Fork. As the boys finish up their run, they've got them all lined up over there. I think it's out of the frame, but they've got them all lined up because they're given a card of order of finish. And since they don't have their names and they don't have numbers on them, they actually have to get the individuals' names to make sure that they get the appropriate time so it can get entered. In just a couple of minutes, we'll get started with the 400-meter dash. And when they line you up in lanes, unlike when it's the long distance, but when it's the sprints, they want to put the faster runners in lanes 4 and 5. So to kick off the first heat of the 400 girls, in lane 1 from River Bluff, Hannah Hanks. Lane 2 from Chapin, Haley Miller. Lane 3 from Dutch Fork, Jayla Robertson. And with a top seed from Airport, Jayla Jamison, with a 56.03. Lane 5 with the second fastest entry from River Bluff, Rebecca Ryan Young, with a 104.39. In lane 6, Chapin's Katie Barfield. Lane 7, Dutch Fork, Alexandria Sessions. And then lane 8 from Chapin, 9th grader, Kate Stebbins. I would say with an entry time of 56.03, and the next closest of a 104.39. It'd be interesting to see if Jayla Jamison's pushed at all. Once again, with it being a 400 dash, means it's a sprint. Most of them will be utilizing the blocks. They're not mandatory. Takes them a little bit of time for them to get them set up. making sure that they have it how they want it. They will stay in their lane the entire way. This is the fastest heat. Come down the home stretch, it looks like it's a tight race. They got to go all the way through the finish line. It looks like that might have been Jayla Robertson from Dutch Fork take the win. If I'm not mistaken, Jayla Jamison was unable to run the top seed. In our second heat, in lane 1 from Chapin, Krista Kallenbach. From River Bluff, Caroline McCorkle. From River Bluff in lane 3, Anna Sophia Brown. Lane 4, Dutch Fork, Jana Nara. From Chapin, lane 5, Caroline Henry. In lane 6, Dutch Fork, Leah Washington. Lane 7 from Dutch Fork, LaAngel Robinson. In lane 8, Chapin's Tori McCrary. And they're off. Coming up next is our boys. They've got 4 heats. With a staggered starts, as you see, sometimes it can be misleading who actually is in the lead. A lot of times in the backstretch, they're just trying to stride it out and go hard into the turn and then come on home on the home stretch. Of course, with the ones that are on the outside lanes, they're staggered, so they're a little bit further up than the ones in lane 1, but they all run the exact same amount of distance and just evens out, especially when they come down the home stretch. And it looks like it's going to be the 2 from Dutch Fork. We'll wait for the final results, but it looked like it was Jana Nahara from Dutch Fork and then Leah Washington from Dutch Fork in second. In the third heat of the girls, in lane 1 from Dutch Fork, Joanna Zia Roundtree. Lane 2, Airport, Marley Murray. Lane 3, Airport's Davana Green. And lane 4, Chapin's Joey Hilt. And lane 5, Dutch Fork's Niabi Walter Corley. Lane 6, Airport's Monarzara Isaac. And lane 7, Dutch Fork's Jasmine Montree. In lane 8, from Airport, Naza Redding. As you'll hear all throughout the broadcast, we do want to thank our sponsors. Generations. If you're not familiar with Generations, it is a retirement community, has full assistance living, and it's located right behind Chapin High School. A lot of their residents come over and watch the various sporting events that we have and activities. It's centrally located in Chapin. And then we got Medical Services of America, Stokes Trainer. If you need your automobile, please visit Stokes Trainer in Newberry. A new sponsor this year, Pepsi. It's been a great partnership so far. Well, it looks like it's going to be Airport's Naza Redding in first, followed by Dutch Fork's Nabi Waltro Corley. We're waiting for the official results. Now the boys will go out there and they'll make sure that they have their block set up to what they want it to be. And heat 1, lane 1, from Dutch Fork, Jack Minch. In lane 2, Chapin's Jason Jenkins. Lane 3, Dutch Forks, Maurice McQuire. And the top seed from River Bluff, Kaylin Cook, with a 51.79. For the second best time from Airport, Collins Saki with a 52.40. And lane 6 from River Bluff, Cody Shepard. In lane 7, Chapin's Noah Rankin. In lane 8, River Bluff, Chris Sanchez. The first and second seed are separated by less than a half a second, so that should be a very good race. And with a 51.79, that is definitely going to be a high seed for the state championship. We've got our girls softball playing this year. Now moving up from the 4A to the 5A, as well as having a lot of seniors last year. It's not going the way that they wanted it to. Cal Sager is the new coach after Jason Jolly, 10 plus years. That's
I'm in lane 4. Chapin, that's what.
well, out of nowhere, the winner of that one, it looked like as of right now, unofficial, was Jack Minch. Jack Minch has been known as a very good mile and 2 miler, a very good cross country runner. I had a chance to speak to him before the meet, and he said that they just wanted to go ahead and try him out at the 400 a little bit. He does have a time of 55.39, which is a very respectable time, but I don't think that's what he ran today. We'll have to wait and see, but that was a very impressive run. Hopefully I can give you an update shortly on the baseball game. As I said, they are trying to win the region. Getting ready for the second heat of the 400 for the boys. Lane 1, Dutch Fork, William King, Chapin, Mason Hendrickson, Chapin's A.J. On. Lane 4, Chapin's Philip Chapman. Lane 5, Dutch Fork, Michael James. Lane 6, Dutch Fork, Juan Osoros. Lane 7, from Chapin, Jackson McCutcheon. And lane 8, River Bluff, Jacob Rosier. We do have 4 heats. We have a very tight race. An unofficial, Chapin's A.J. On in first place. As I've mentioned before, they can always come from a later heat to score. Everybody thinks it's always about winning. It's not always about the winning. It's the seconds, the thirds, the fourths, and the fifths place is what really helps you get all the points. It happens all the time that a first place will get you 6. Second and third combined gets you 7. Now for the third heat. Lane 1, Chapin's Cooper Edenfield. Lane 2, Airport Mikhail Stone. Lane 3, Airport's Presley Reeves. Lane 4, Chapin's Max Stewart. Lane 5, Dutch Fork, Dorian Jacobs. Lane 6, Chapin's Connor Calder. In lane 7, Airport's Daquan Scott. And lane 8, Chapin's Brennan Johnson. We've got the results from the girls' high jump. In first place, with a jump of 4 feet 8 inches, River Bluff's Olivia Grace Farah. In second, Airport with a jump of 4 feet 6 inches, Emma Henning. In third place with a jump of 4 feet 4 inches, Chapin's Violet Maloa. And in fourth place with a jump of 4 feet 2 inches, Chapin's Joey Hilt. And our girls' 1,600 meter run results. In first place with a time of 5 minutes 26 seconds .41, River Bluffs Madeline Gomez. In second place, Dutch Fork Brianna Hartley. Third place, Dutch Fork Alexis Vanderdale. Fourth place, Dutch Fork's Alyssa Lamonoro. In fifth place, River Bluffs Cadence Hope Alexander. And our pole vault results. In first place, we have a tie with a jump of 9 feet 6 inches. Lauren Daniel and Noelle Fleetwood. In third place, with a jump of tied once again for third place, 3-way tie for third place, with a a jump of 8 feet. We have Chapin's Caitlin Christensen, Chapin's Catherine Schubert, and River Bluff's Anna Sophia Brown. And through the girls' 1600 and some of the field events, our results currently are the boys, River Bluff and Dutch Fork and Chapin all have 21 points for a three-way tie, followed up by Airport with 9. And on our girls, Chapin in first place with 46, followed by River Bluff 36. Third place, Dutch Fork 20. And in fourth place, Airport's 17. Update from our baseball. After 1, no score. That 400 can be a very tough race. Your mind says go, your arms say go, and your legs say no, no. We've got our last heat of the boys. 400-meter run. In lane 1 from Dutch Fork, Coleman Deviney. Dutch Fork, Elijah Chapman. Lane 3, Airport, Isa Dudley. From Airport, Edward Floyd. From Chapin, Brandon Miller in lane 5. In lane 6 from Airport, Corey Muller. In lane 7 from Dutch Fork, Kobe Robinson. And from Chapin, Vince Del Potro. Now they'll be moving the hurdles on the track for the 400, the girls' 400 hurdles. These are considered the intermediate hurdles, a little bit lower. Well, it looks like the boys' pole vault is very close to being completed. Update for the boys' soccer. Chapin 1, White Knoll 0. Tyler Martin scores with 12 minutes into the game. Looks like they're about ready to get started. There's only 2 heats of the girls. In the first heat, in lane 1, Chapin Abby Davis. Lane 2, Chapin Haley Hankins. Lane 3, Airport Brashia Lester. Top seed from River Bluff with a time of 1:16:31. Sandra Mastery. Second seed, lane 5 from Airport with 1:17.0. We got Naza Reading. In lane 6 from River Bluff, we got Callie Cox. From Chapin, lane 7, Katie Buxar. Lane 8 from River Bluff, Kaylin Dock. They're making sure all the hurdles are the proper height, and then they'll send them off. And they're off. Well, it looks like we had a few people scratch. In this heat, it looks like there's only 3 competitors. They're coming down the home stretch. And the lead, Airport's Brashia Lester, followed by Chapin's Haley Hankins. And followed up by Chapin's Abby Davis. In the second and final heat for the girls, in lane 1 from Dutch Fork, Lauren Branham. From Dutch Fork, lane 2, Camilla Johnson. Also from Dutch Fork, Aaliyah Russo. From Chapin, Erica Pierce in lane 4. From Chapin, lane 5, Catherine Davis. Dutch Fork, London Bacchus in lane 6. Dutch Fork, Anna Stragal in lane 7. And from Dutch Fork, Olivia Hardy, lane 8. Once again, it looks like we have a few competitors that are not participating. It happens in track meets. Somebody gets hurt in an earlier race and you really don't know about it and you can't change them out. So we'll have to wait and see who actually is running. Looks like pole vault only has a couple of people left, contestants. In pole vault, just like there is in high jump, when you have the height, you can pass until you want to come in. And once you do not clear a height 3 times, you're out. And then they go back and see who cleared the highest height. And if there's a tie, then they go back and see where was the earliest fault that you had, that you didn't clear the height. So very rarely is there a tie in the pole vault. There are in the long jump and the triple jump and the other events, but very rarely is there a tie in the high jump and pole vault. And after the hurdles, we'll have the girls 800. Followed by the 200. Well, I see that Reese is playing around with the controls. Looking forward to having Reese back up in the press box during the football games. With him being a freshman, it was his first year to be around it, and he did a great job. Took to it very quickly, and we're looking forward to a lot of good things from him in the next 3 years. After 2, boys baseball with Lexington is still tied up 0-0. And that was the last heat of the girls. Looks like Lauren Branham took first. We'll have to wait for the final results. With only having 3 competitors in the first heat, some of these individuals right here will be scoring. Up next is our boys. 2 heats there. Then lane 1 from Chapin. Michael Brand from River Bluff. Armando Mastery from Chapin in lane 3. Robert Badcock. And top seed from Chapin, Ryan Norwood, with a time of 1.0164. Followed by the second fastest qualifier from River Bluff, Roberto Aguilar, with a time of 1.0483. Followed by Chapin's Jack Riley. Then Chapin's Will Lahr in lane 7. And then Jackson Owings from Chapin in lane 8. Just like the girls, it looks like that we have had a couple of competitors not be able to make their race. Looks like we have 3 of them that were unable to make the race. And it looks like coming across the finish line first, Ryan Norwood from Chapin. They would know a lot better than we would. Well, it looks like the long jump is almost completed as well. We'll be getting the final results very shortly. Still looking for results from the shot put and discus boys and girls. They're a little bit further away from us. They're on the outside of the track. They have their own little area. Sometimes they don't run the scores up quite as quickly as some of the others, so we're looking forward to getting that time. Update from the baseball game, still tied up, no score after 3. As you'll see a couple of times, we'll have runners and participants. They'll step in front of the camera. They're not accustomed to a broadcast. We did 2 broadcasts last year. And we're off. Looks like we only have 3 competitors in this heat. Who was scheduled to do it was in lane 2, Airport's Landon Smith, Dutch Fork, Jaden Powell, Chapin's Aiden Kitchens, lane 5, Dutch Fork's Edward Finley, and in lane 6, Dutch Fork, Michael James. And coming across the finish line, Dutch Fork's Jaden Powell. That looked like a very fast race there. We'll have to wait for the final results. He had a no time, so we'll just have to wait and see. Now we've got the 800-meter run. We'll start off with our girls with the top seed from Dutch Fork with a time of 2 minutes 31 seconds .95. Madison Watson, followed by River Bluffs Madeline Gomez. Third is from River Bluff is Kristen Hallman. Fourth, River Bluff, Candace Hope Alexander. From Chapin, fifth, Tess Burke. Sixth, Dutch Fork, Miranda Kirkley. And seventh, River Bluff, Hannah Gabby Hart. Eighth, Dutch Fork, Mackenzie Meyer. And ninth, Chapin's Kate Stebbins. And in 10th, River Bluff, Caroline Rocormore. As the temperature starts to drop out here, it gets tough for some of these runners that have had a long break between their events. Some of them need to stretch out a little bit more and run and get warmed up. Well, I see that they covered up the pole vault pit, so we should be getting results from that shortly. Following the 800, we have the 200, and then it looks like we're combining the 3200, which is the 2 miles. So we'll be combining the girls and the boys, and then we'll follow it up with one of the most exciting races I believe there is, and that's to finish off most track meets, and that's the 4x400 relay. We're fortunate here at Chapin that we've got the lights, so we'll be finishing under the lights. From what I understand, a few years ago, Chapin didn't have lights, so they were trying to bring cars, do whatever they could to get some lighting on the track to get it done. And we're off. It looks like they made the girls take off all together. A little bit of a staggered line. 800 is 2 laps around. I should be receiving an update for the lacrosse game. Like I said before, it's 2 laps around. It looks like Tess Burke might be in second place right now. If I'm not mistaken, she's trying to chase down Madison Watson. But like we said, it's 2 laps around. Coming down that home stretch can be awful hard. Got to pump your arms. Keep your head down. But it looks like we might have Madison Watson from Dutch Fork. But Tess Burke is putting on a hard push at the end. Finishing hard, coming all the way through. Followed up by 2 more Dutch Fork runners. Looking forward to that results. And we've got some results from something. What do we have here? From the 400-meter dash, the girls in first place with a time of 1 minute 5 seconds, .54 from Dutch Fork, Jayla Robinson. And in second place, Chapin's Katie Barfield. Third place, River Bluffs, Hannah Hanks. Fourth place, Dutch Fork, Jane Hanara. In fifth place, Dutch Fork, Alexandria Sessions. From our boys, 400. As we had said that Jack Mensch, we were pretty sure that he had won. He had a time coming in with a 55, and he ran a very impressive 51.94 to take first place. That's Jack Mensch from Dutch Fork. In second place, River Bluffs, Kaylin Cook. Third place, Dutch Fork, Coleman Devaney. In fourth place, Chapin's Jason Jenkins. And in fifth place, Chapin's Noah Rankin. I'll tell you, high school sports, you never know what's going to come out. It's exciting every race, every event. I always say anybody can be beaten on any given day. And that's just a prime example. Jack Mensch cut over 4 seconds in an event to take first place. We've got the girls' triple jump results. With a jump of 31 feet, 11 inches, Chapin Bella Martin. In second place, also from Chapin, with a 30-foot, .2-inch jump, Violet Mulla. In third place, from Chapin, with a jump of 28.07, Lauren Epps. And in fifth place from Chapin, 28.04, Ashlyn Causey. Our boys' 600-meter run. First place, Chapin, Jaden Kinsley, with a time of 4 minutes, 31 second, .40, followed by River Bluffs, Jacob Maijan. Third place, River Bluff, Jonathan Tan. Fourth place, Dutch Fork, Nicholas Kaiser. Fifth place, Chapin, James Brothy. And the girls 400 hurdles in first place with a time of 113.8. Dutch Fork's Lauren Branham. In second place, Dutch Fork's Landon Bacchus. In third place from Airport, Brescia Lester. In fourth place, Chapin's Haley Hankins. And in fifth place, Chapin Abby Davis. And the boys 400-meter hurdles. First place, Chapin's Ryan Norwood with a time of 1 minute, 1 second, .33, followed by Dutch Fork's Jaden Powell. Third place, Chapin's Robert Badcock. Fourth place, Chapin's Jack Riley. And in fifth place, Chapin's Jackson Owings. Through the boys' 400 hurdles and some field events. Score: girls, Chapin 68, River Bluff 40, Dutch Fork 39, Airport 20. For the boys' score, Chapin 43, Dutch Fork 36, River Bluff 32, followed by Airport with 9. We just finished up with the boys, 800. It'll take a few minutes. Once again, with the longer distance run, they have to go through and give them their name and get their time and make sure that everybody has the appropriate time. We should have those results shortly. Now we've got the 200-meter dash. As we got a little bit of break in the action, once again, we want to thank our sponsors, Balfour, Sonic Drive-In, Harold's Law Firm, Bojangles, Galloway Homes, Miss Cocky, Quality Life Solutions, Pelicans, State Farm, Galliana Automotive, Lake Murray Tire, Richardson Heating and Air, and Riverland Hills Baptist Church. Thank you for their generosity. It's all for these young men and women that are out here giving their time and effort. Once again, don't forget about our Generations, our platinum sponsors, Generations, Medical Services of America, Stokes Trainer, and Pepsi. For the 200, we will have 5 heats of the girls and 6 heats of the boys. once again, we have so many runners for the 800. It's taken a while to get their times. Looks like we got our hurdle crew. I know those hurdles don't look like they weigh much, but there's no easy way to carry them. But we appreciate those young men picking them up. We'll be getting an update very shortly on our boys lacrosse. Looks like it'll be just a few more minutes on the getting the time and the names for the 800. Once again, we have the sponsored by Kaufman Harmon Funeral Home here in Chapin and the Eagle Club. We've got our spring pig picking. It's at the old barn farm, 843 Old Lexington. It's all the barbecue and hash and rice and all the fixing desserts that you can eat. It is BYOB. Bring your own beverage and bring your own chair. We'll have some singing, some entertainment. Entertainment will be, I understand that Chris Watson and Tim Slice are looking forward to doing some singing. It's $20 per person. 100% of the proceeds goes to Chapin Athletics. So please come and join us. If you don't have a ticket, contact your local Chapin Eagle Club member. If you're not sure who any of those are, please feel free to give a text to 803-920-8619. Look forward to seeing everyone out there. Well, into the second period for the boys lacrosse. Chapin is down 2-4. But I'll tell you, in lacrosse, if you haven't had an opportunity to watch that sport, 2-0 is absolute. Being down by 2 means nothing. One of the most unique sports that after every score, there's a face-off. So you can score, win the face-off, come back, score again, win the face-off, come back, score again. It's the only sport that I know of that one team can constantly have the ball without the other team ever having an opportunity. So down 2, that could switch in a matter of minutes. We're getting ready to make some changes. So the screen's going to go black, but just hold on. We'll be back shortly. They got to fix this process. What they should do right there, honestly, is because you've got 2 ladies out there. You should bring them all over here. Oh, they're off. They're running. And we're back, as you see right there, just in time for the finish of the first heat of the girls 100. We're not sure what the official results are, but in that heat, we had lane 1 from Dutch Fork, Heaven Warner from Airport, Naja Henderson from Chapin, Amara Belk, your top qualifier from Airport with a time of 23:94, Jayla Jameson. River Bluff in lane 5, Jaden Johnson. Lane 6, Dutch Forks, Langell Robinson. Lane 7, Dutch Fork, Maya Brown. And in lane 8 from River Bluff, Abigail Gunner. Now starting for our second heat of our girls. In lane 1 from Chapin, Mary Grace Rich. Lane 2, River Bluff, Katia Garvin. In lane 3, Chapin, Macy Dickey. Lane 4 from Chapin, Jayla Williamson. Lane 5 from Chapin, Ollie Pearson. Lane 6 from Airport, Camelia Elmore. In lane 7 from Airport, Lena Henderson. In lane 8 from River Bluff, Zoe Bright. And the heat 3, lane 1, Chapin's Caroline Henry. Lane 2, Dutch Fork, Gabrielle Bracebane. Lane 3, Jordan Ray from Chapin. Lane 4 from Airport, Marley Murray. Lane 5 from Dutch Fork, Jalen Metz from Chapin. Lane 6, Camden Metz. In lane 7 from Chapin, Elena Webb. And lane 8 from Chapin, Anna Webb. Looks like lacrosse is now 5-3. That was the third heat out of 5. We'll be waiting for the final results. But in the fourth heat, in lane 1 from Chapin, Krista Cullenbach. In lane 2 from Dutch Fork, London Bacchus. That's Bacchus. In lane 4, Chapin, Shelby Jumper. In lane 5, Chapin, Tori McCrary. In lane 5, Dutch Fork, Lauren Beatson. And in lane 7, Chapin, Ruby Fisher. And they're off. And it looks like we must have lost a competitor. To finish off the last heat for the girls 200, lane 2, because we're not having a full field here. We've got Chapin's Nellie Nauman. Lane 3, Dutch Fork, Leah Washington. Lane 4, Dutch Fork's Jacayla Williams. Lane 5 from Dutch Fork, Nabi Wahire Corley. And Chapin's Rachel Gahande. We'll be waiting on the final results there. But in the boys 200, we have 6 heats. Looks like they're already getting them lined up over there. Like I said, the temperature's dropping. They want to get everybody out of here. So in heat 1, lane 1 from Chapin, Connor Lehman. Lane 2, Dutch Fork, Antonio Williams. Lane 3, Chapin's Elijah Wilson. And top qualifier from Dutch Fork with a time of 21:33, Jalen Height. And lane 5 from River Bluff, Kaylin Cook. Lane 6, Dutch Fork, Devin Height. Lane 7, Airport, Colin Sacki. And lane 8 from Airport, Emmanuel Donovan. Looks like they're getting ready to get started. Once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors: O'Leary Orthodontics, Premier Roofing, Sam's Club, Lake Murray Flooring, Zestos, Keller Williams, Metals and Alloys, Farm Boys, America's Bank, Midlands Orthopedics, Charles Schwab, Lake Murray Driving Academy, and Allstate. Hopefully we'll have another update from our baseball shortly. And it looks like the boys are down. That means they'll be getting ready to get up. Have everybody sitting down in the infield so they can see the starter.
Attention here to the start-finish line. We have a new high jump school record set at 6'2" by Max Harrell. Can you give a round of applause?
And that announcement in the background was a new Chapin High School high jump record, 6'2". We'll be getting those results in shortly. It's very obvious when that sun went down. Feels like we dropped about 20 degrees. And they're off. Once we get the first heat going, it seems like the rest of the heats follow in pretty quickly afterwards. Preliminary results was first place by Dutch Fork, Jalen Height. In our second heat of 6, Lane 1, Airport, Nanders, Lawrence, Chapin, Micah Davis, Dutch Fork, Savon Holmes. Lane 4, Airport, Dwayne Lewis. And Lane 5, Chapin's Josh Wells. Lane 6, Chapin Cooper Evans. Lane 7, River Bluff, Cody Shepard. And in Lane 8, Dutch Fork, Dixon Oliver. And the gun is up. And they're off. This is the second of 6 heats. And that is a very, very tight finish. Too close to call. It looks like we got some final results coming in. And as we said, with a new school record in the high jump, Maddox Harrell at 6 feet 2 inches in first place, followed by Dutch Forks, Elijah Spencer, cleared 6 feet even, followed by River Bluffs, Kyle Sneedson at 5'10", River Bluffs, William Vernon, 5 feet 4 inches, tied with Chapin's Michael McNeil with also 5 and 4 inches. We finally have a shot put. And the boys shot put in first place with a throw of 42 feet and 4 inches. Jacob Hames from Chapin. And second from Dutch Fork, with a toss of 36.05. Taquan Brooks. Third place from Dutch Fork with a 34.09.5 throw, Jalen King. Also from Dutch Fork in fourth place with a throw of 34.04.5, Jamar Walker. And in fifth place, River Bluffs, Beard Kobe with a throw of 33.11". The boys pole vault. In first place, with a jump of 14 feet 6 inches from Dutch Fork, John Hunter James. Second place from Chapin, with a jump of 13 feet even, Sam LaRosa. In third place, with a jump of tied in third place, with a jump of 12 feet, Chapin boys, Blake Hales and Jacob Dixon. And in fifth place, newcomer with 11 feet, clearing of 11 feet, Nick Timbrunzel, tied with two others, one from River Bluff and one from Chapin. River Bluff, Wade McWilliams and Giovanni Torres from Chapin. All jumped 11 feet. Our girls 800 results. In first place with a time of 2 minutes 35 seconds .42 from Dutch Fork, Madison Watson. And as we were surprised with a great race by Tessa Brook in second place from Chapin with a time of 2:36.52. Third place from Dutch Fork, Mackenzie Meyer. Fourth place from Dutch Fork, Miranda Kirkley. And in fifth place from River Bluff, Madeline Skinner. And for our 200 dash from our girls, in first place from River Bluff with a time of 27.13, Jada Johnson. And in second place with a time of 27.18, Chapin Amara Belk. Third from Chapin, Jelani Williams. Fourth place from Chapin, Mary Grace Rich. Fifth place from Dutch Fork, Heaven Warner. And once again, just to reiterate, with a new school record in the high jump, Chapin's Maddox Harrell with a jump of 6 feet 2 inches. We've got one more heat of the boys, 200. In lane 2, Chapin's Landon Whitley. Lane 3, Airport's Isa Dudley. Lane 4, Dutch Fork's David Wooten. In lane 5, Reginald McFadden. In lane 6, Chapin Vince Del Poderio. And in lane 7, James Jeffcoat. We should have the results very shortly. For the boys, they seem to be getting everything in now that most of the field events have been completed. We should be getting the scores very quickly. At the start of the third period, it looks like Chapin is still behind Lexington and La Crosse 3-5. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Generations, assisted living as well as retirement community based right here in Chapin. Medical Services of America, Stoke Trainer for any of your automobile needs in Newberry, and Pepsi. Our next event will be combined 3,200. They're going to be combining, as I said, with the boys and girls for the 2 mile. That's 3,200. That's 8 laps around. And combining the boys and the girls, it can be extremely difficult to keep up with how many laps everybody's completed. And then we will finish it up with the mile relay, the 4x4 100, 4x400 relay. Hopefully we'll get an update shortly from their baseball. As I said, it's between Lexington and Chapin for the region championship. Chapin beat Lexington earlier this week, 2-0. Our girls lacrosse is undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state. And here we go, the 3,200. The boys and the girls are headed to the start line. Once they're off, there'll be a little bit of a break. Like I said, it was 8 laps around. They're staggering a little bit for some of the ones that are faster. They'll have a chance to be up front. It's just like in your traditional road race. You'll have your faster competitors in the front with your ones that are trying to do a little better in the back. With final instructions, a starter will back up and he'll say, take your mark and send them off. And they're off. Once again, it's hard to say who's in front. They don't have name tags. They don't have numbers. We'll have to wait until the end of it. If I get any information of who actually is leading, their names, I will pass it along. Enjoy. We've got a score update through the boys 200. Starting with the girls, Chapin 96, Dutch Fork 64, River Bluff 47, Airport 44. And for your boys, Chapin 77, Dutch Fork 68, River Bluff 41, Airport 12. We've got some results from the boys' discus throw with a throw of 126, 7 inches, and 25. Lucas Nash from Chapin, first place. Dutch Fork, Jamal Walker with a 114 and a half throw. In third place with 110.01, Chapin, Jacob Hames. In fourth place with a 109.0175, Dutch Fork, Toquan Brooks. Fifth, Chapin, 108.0275, Maddox Harrell. Our girls' discus,
Switch over generator, so we're set for the rest of the night.
girls' discus throw with a throw of 113, 3 inches and 25. Ida Wright. In second place with a throw of 102.09.75, Chapin, Olivia Downs. Third place, Airport's Destiny Gill with 88.07. In fourth place, Chapin's Haven Lynn with 77.07. And in fifth place, Dutch Fork's Diamond Moore with a throw of 75.10. Event 33, girls shot put. First place with a throw of 38 feet, 8 inches, .5, Dutch Fork, India Wright. With a throw of 34.01, Chapin's Olivia Downs, second place. With a throw of 32.08, Chapin's Bella Martin. With a throw of 28.01, fourth place, Chapin's Kaylee Isidore. And in fifth place, with a throw of 27.08, Airport's Alicia Hammond. The results from the boys, 200. In first place, as we thought, with a time of 21.76, Dutch Fork's Jalen Height. In the second place, from River Bluff, Kaylin Cook. And in third place, Airport's Colin Sackie. Fourth place, Dutch Fork's Savin Holmes. And in fifth place, Chapin's Josh Wells. Well, after the 3,200, which is getting ready to come to an end, we'll finish up with the 4x400 relay. We'll have one heat of the boys and one heat of the girls. Of course, with the girls starting off first. Once again, I want to remind everybody about the pig picking this coming Saturday, sponsored by Kaufman Harmon Funeral Home, as well as the Chapin Eagle Club. Starting at 6:30 at the Old Barn Farm on 843 Old Lexington Highway. It's BYOB. Bring your own beverage and bring your own chair. ticket prices are $20 a piece. It's all you can eat, barbecue, hash and rice, green beans, desserts. We have several different types of sauces. Make sure everybody has what they want. 100% of the proceeds goes to Chapin Athletics. As a reminder, all of the uniforms for all of the athletics for Chapin is bought and paid for from the proceeds from Chapin Eagle Club. Please get your tickets from Eagle Club members. If you're not sure who any of them are, feel free to text 803-920-8619, and we'll definitely get some tickets to you. Well, we just finished up the 3200. We should have the results very shortly.
Report to the staging area. Girls, followed by the 400-meter relay. Report to the staging area.
They're getting ready to get the girls underway. And in the girls, in lane 2, it will be Airport. In lane 3 will be River Bluff. Lane 4 is Dutch Fork. Lane 5 is Dutch Fork. And lane 6 is Chapin. And unlike the individual events, they only score the first 3 places. First place getting 6, second place getting 4, third place getting 2.
Can I have a coach from River Bluff and a coach from Airport report to the start and finish line, please? Coach from Airport and a coach from River Bluff.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be doing some baseball next week. Please check social media, Twitter, for our next broadcast. They're finishing up getting the times and the individuals' names over there for the 3200 as the last competitors come through. And it looks like we have a little update. Boys 800. In first place with a time of 2 minutes, 4 seconds, .08 from River Bluff, Jacob Marjon. Second place, River Bluff, Michaela Reeves. Third place from River Bluff, Jonathan Tan. In fourth place from River Bluff, Tanner Mashute. And in fifth place from Dutch Fork, Zach Cartledge. Well, unfortunately, I've got a bad update. It is 5-2, the bad guys being Lexington over our Chapin Eagles after the 5th inning for baseball. But the game's not over, so hopefully we'll have an update and a final before the end of it. And it looks like our lacrosse is down 4-8 as well. But for the track meet, currently it looks like Chapin, boys and girls, will finish first. We're glad to see that Asa finally joined us. He's been over there frolicking around over with the ball field, checking on the baseball B team. Well, hopefully we'll get these 2 relays started and we can finish up for the night. And once again, I just want to shout out to our sponsors for all the things that they help us with financially. We couldn't do it without them. Once again, we got Generations, Medical Services of America, Stoke Trainer, Pepsi. Those are our platinum sponsors. And then we have Balfour, Sonic Drive-In, Harold and Peace Attorneys, Bojangles, Galloway Homes, Miss Cocky, Quality Life Solutions, Pelicans, State Farm, Galliana Automotive, Lake Murray Tire, Richardson Heating and Air, Rusty Todd, and Riverland Hills Baptist Church. And for our silver sponsors, O'Leary Orthodontics, Premier Roofing, Sam's Club, Lake Murray Flooring, Zestos, Keller Williams, Metals and Alloys, Farm Boys, Ameris Bank, Midlands, Orthopedic, Charles Schwab, Lake Murray Driving, and Allstate. And the girls are off. We'll go over it one more time in lane 2, which they will stay in their lanes all the way through the first run, the first runner. And once they do the exchange, they will actually be able to break down into lane 1. But to start off, we had in lane 2, we had Airport, lane 3, River Bluff, lane 4, Dutch Fork, lane 5, Dutch Fork, and lane 6, Chapin. And this first leg looks awful tight. As I said, they will stay in their lane all the way. And once they hand off to their second runner, the second runner will have an opportunity to break down, provided they do not trip up or impede anyone else. And it looks like Dutch Fork was in the lead. However, I'll tell you, Airport had a very good exchange between 1 and 2. The exchange can be such a critical part of this. The runner that is waiting for the baton to be brought to them should start running and they should be trying to gain speed as the runner is coming in, and you want to time it perfectly when you're handing it off, that they're almost getting to a full stride. More in the 4x100 with the relay exchange, it definitely can be the difference of the race, winning and losing. It's still very important in the 4x4 100. Looks like Airport is off to a very fast lead, followed by a Dutch Fork team, followed by another Dutch Fork team, and it looks like Chapin is now in third place. We've got the results in from the boys' long jump with a jump of 20 feet 3.5 inches. Dutch Fork, Elijah Spencer. Second place with a jump of 20 feet 0.1 inch. Airport's Colin Sackey with a jump of 11 inches and a half. Chapin's Michael McNeil. In fourth place with a jump of 19:05.25, River Bluff's Sean Stevens. And in fifth place with a throw of 19:05.5, Chapin's Tyson Thomas. Well, there was an exchange, and it looks like Airport has extended its lead a little bit, followed by Dutch Fork in second. And we had a pass. It looks like Chapin is in third place. On the backstretch, it doesn't look like much has changed. Looks like Airport has extended their lead. Update from boys lacrosse. It's now 4-8. And coming across the finish line first is Airport, followed by Dutch Fork. And here comes Chapin. Tessa Burke is trying to hold off the surge from Dutch Fork, and she does. Chapin finishes third. Dutch Fork finishes fourth, followed by another River Bluff. Now we've got the boys. Last event of the night. In lane 1, we have Chapin. Lane 2, Dutch Fork. Lane 4, River Bluff. Lane 5, Dutch Fork. Lane 6, Chapin. And lane 7, Airport.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you're policing your area. If you see any loose trash, any bottles, any bags.
Dutch Fork, the number 1 seed, with a time of 3 minutes, 39 second .78. Followed by the 2 Dutch Fork teams at 34.5.
Phil says that the
Well, they're giving the instruction to the men as they getting ready for the last race. The 4x4 100. 4x400.
oh, 2 OS final.
2-0 update for the men's soccer. Chapin 2, White Knoll 0. That was a good win for Chapin. Chapin's in a battle to try to get into the playoffs. Right now you've got River Bluff and Dutch Fork ahead of them. They're in third place, battling it out with Lexington. They play Lexington later on, and they'll have an opportunity there to jump up into third or stay in third place. Not just moving up to 5A, but in our region with Dutch Fork and River Bluff, two of the best teams in the state and also ranked in the nation. Makes it a very, very, very tough task, but for the most part, Chapin has held its own. We had a lot of seniors graduate last year, so it was a little bit of a rebuilding and then moving up into the 5A as well as a really tough region. Very proud of the boys and their effort that they're doing. Only about 5 minutes left of the broadcast. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please watch announcements for further broadcast. And it looks like everybody's about set. The starter's walking out. He'll send them off, and about 4 minutes later, we'll be done. Here we go. The gun is up, and they're off. Once again, as a reminder, they are a staggered start. First runners have to stay in their lane the entire way. Once they make an exchange with the second runner, once the second runner has cleared space, it can jump down into lane 1. Sometimes it can be tough when everybody is so close together. Like I said, River Bluff was the number 1 seed. And right now it looks like River Bluff's in the lead. Followed closely by Dutch Fork. And then Chapin. And Dutch Fork. Airport. Chapin. And Airport. And it looks like the Dutch Fork runner. I'm sorry, River Bluff. Michaela Reeves has extended the lead, but now it looks like Dutch Fork, Coleman, Devancy is coming up hard. Pumping the arms, coming down to the home stretch, coming for the exchange. It's almost to overtake them. And they're right there together, coming to exchange, and it's a very good exchange. And it looks like Dutch Fork is off to the races with the lead. They're going down the back stretch, and they're giving it everything they got. Sometimes when you're trying to chase somebody, you can go out too fast and you got to hold on. It looks like Chapin has moved back to 4th place. And here comes River Bluff. River Bluff down the home stretch. It is neck and neck. River Bluff and Dutch Fork. River Bluff has taken the lead, heading off to the 3rd runner. Good exchange. Jack Minch, that won the 400 earlier, just took off for Dutch Fork. Followed by Chapin in 3rd. Doesn't look like Jack Minch is gaining any. Airport's now in 3rd, followed by Chapin in 4th. It's all going to come down to the last leg. Jack Minch is closing in hard. Might not be enough real estate to close it, though. Here it goes. It's going to be close. And there we go. There is the end. It is River Bluff, Dutch Fork, followed by Airport and Chapin. To finish up, Dutch Fork and Chapin in 5th. Once again, we want to thank everybody tuning in tonight. Please watch for our next broadcast. We've got baseball coming up next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night.